our goal is I can go back and reread my writing, and then I can add details, like we talked about adjectives, adverbs, and extra words to make it interesting. So, last week when we worked on this, we wrote, one day a scarecrow was standing in the field. And then we made it better. We went in and added, you read it with me. One summer day, a mean-looking scarecrow was standing on a pole in the gigantic pumpkin patch. That sounds really interesting. But today, I wanted to show you that you can change the beginning of your story. This one started with telling you about where the setting was, right? So it put you in the place, in the gigantic pumpkin patch. It told you who the main character was. So I'm going to read you, this is called a mentor text. That means we're going to read an author's writing and see how they began their story. So be a good listener and try to figure out how they started the story. If they started it like ours, or if they started it differently. What is the seashore like? A little boy asked his mother. He lived in the mountains and had never seen the sea. His mother smiled. Let's pretend, she said. It is early morning at the seashore, and it's hard to tell where the sea stops and the sky begins. So think, how did they start that out? Did this author start it out like ours, or did they start it out differently? You're going to talk with a partner, talk with someone beside you, and decide, is it the same or is it different? It's different. And how was it the same or how was it different? Was it the same or different? What are we talking about? Is it the same or different? What are we talking about? Is it the same as ours or is it different? Okay, why is it different? So it makes the idea of the setting, where the story is. So if I'm reading this one, because Darden said, I forgot already. This one starts out, what is the seashore like? A little boy asked his mother. He lived in the mountains and had never seen the sea. His mother smiled. Let's pretend, she said. It is early morning at the seashore, and it's hard to tell where the sea stops and the sky begins. So some of you had different ideas. Some of you said it might have started the same. Some said maybe different. So tell me what you think. So Jonathan, can you tell me what do you think? How is it different? Yeah, did you hear? They started with a question. And who was speaking? A little boy. And what do we call that when we have talking and it was raise your hand? We have talking and we use quotation marks. What is that called?
Dialogue.
Yeah, dialogue. It's called dialogue, but we use quotation marks. So everybody say it with me? Dialogue. We use quotation marks. So did we start with dialogue?
No.
No. But this author did. Why do you think this author started with dialogue? Thank you for being so quiet. Jordy, do you know, why do you think this author started with dialogue instead of just the setting? What was he wondering about?
The kid,
Uh-huh.
he wanted to go to the, never seen how a beach looked like.
Or see?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it got us to know what the book was about and what they're going to pretend about, right? Because now we're going to pretend they're at the sea. What else? Hey, did you hear that? exciting if we had the same book over and over and it all started with one day? Would that be very exciting? Yeah, they would just change the like time. But this one made it more interesting because they started with dialogue to get you right in the story right away. So I want you to go back to your stories today. And I want you to make sure that you have dialogue, or if you have the beginning, sit down. Sit down, please. When you start your story, I want you to reread your introduction. This is called an introduction. And see if you can make it more exciting by adding details or by adding dialogue. Got it, got it?
Got it.
All right. Go to your spots. Don't be working. What are you adding, Michaela?
I made a mistake on net.
Okay, so you're just fixing the word? Okay, good job rereading.
Very.
So what are you adding, Nicholas? Nathan?
I added, instead of very old, I took the very old and spread it apart and add scary in between.
Oh, okay, to make it more interesting?
A very
Okay.
scary old scarecrow.
Oh, I see. And what are you adding?
I changed Scarecrow to Michaela because she said I could use her name in my story.
Oh, so you're going to put some characters' names in your story? Okay, I see just what you're doing.
One day in our school, a wizard had a wand, and his school, he used his wand to make a scarecrow. When the scarecrow came
Okay,
alive,
stop. Is there anything else you can add? Before you
I'm
keep
working
going?
on this.
But remember, we're rereading our introduction, and then we're adding to it. So let's look at this, read it one more time, and see if we can add anything.
One day in a school, a wizard had a wand. Yeah?
Okay, so we say one day in a school. That doesn't tell us much. What kind of school? Was it like a wizard school, or was it like
wizard school.
an elementary school?
A wizard?
Okay, over here. So we add our caret right up here, remember?
Yeah.
And we know that we're going to add wizard. So we just write wizard right there. Keep going. I said, what are you doing? Keep reading. Celine.
A long time ago, in a gigantic field, and came a big bad storm hit the big bad scarecrow, and it walks and moves. One day, the scarecrow went to see the big road. The scarecrow knows a good place because people talk about it. The scarecrow went to the biggest store there was. Downtown, he walked with a big